Right, welcome ladies and gentlemen. Twisters is absolutely smashing the box office. Yep, absolutely smashing it. It's looking like a huge opening weekend for this film. We don't have the updated numbers thus far. Deadline has it tracking to about $80 million domestically. So worldwide, pretty bloody high, actually, quite frankly. And I think this, we're seeing that pendulum begin to swing back because we had the director come out and be like, we didn't want this movie to be preachy. At all. We weren't interested in it. There's no climate change, preachy BS nonsense. We're not doing any of that. We didn't want it. Cool. Excellent. And that's probably why people are watching it. As well as Glen Powell. Glen Powell is a rising star now. Huge rising star. So we'll dive into this. Please do hit subscribe if you're new here. Turn those bell notifications on. And let's check it out, shall we? So, as a bit of a background, this went around at the time. I didn't really want to cover it, to be fair, because we didn't have the figures to back up whether this would be a successful statement or not. So I didn't really want to cover it at that point. Now we can contextualize it, which makes sense. So essentially, we had this statement with CNN and the director who essentially said the objective of Twisters is to entertain its audiences and not to preach to them. So he says, and quote, I wanted to make sure that we are never creating a feeling that we're preaching a message. That's certainly not what I think cinema should be about. By Jove, I think he's got it. No, honestly, I mean, this is good. Perfect. I think it should be a reflection of the world, which is perfect, fine. Like none of this is objectionable. This is perfectly fine. Don't preach to me. Show the world, that's fine, but don't preach to me. I'm not interested in that. So that's great. He said that about one reflection of the world in Twisters comes with a line from the character of Kathy, who's the mother of Daisy Edgar Jones's character Kate, who mentions how storms and floods are becoming more frequent. I mean, that actually, has happened a little bit, so that's fine. Don't see the issue there. And it says that the reference doesn't go beyond that, however, to make climate change the culprit, which is fine. Like, that's fine. Yeah, sure, they're becoming more frequent. Cool. Okay, excellent. No worries. That's it. No issues. And he said at the time, I think what we're doing is showing the reality of what's happening on the ground. We don't shy away from saying that things are changing. Sure, fine. There are other reasons why they're changing, but anyway, moving on. So how's that translating into box office? Well, we have these numbers from The Hollywood Reporter. These were updated yesterday. We'll take a look at Deadline's first. So Deadline here has it as an $80 million opening. They're likening it to Oppenheimer. Now, to hit $80 million domestically for this film is huge. This film had a reported budget of anywhere between $150 to $200 million. Okay, we'll look at what Hollywood Reporter says in a minute. So if it's those kind of numbers, right, and it's doing $80 million just domestically, they're doing really quite well, because worldwide, obviously, it's much harder than that. And domestically is where the numbers really matter for a Hollywood movie. That's where they're going to make the most of their actual money back from the studios. So this is pretty good, but let's see what they say. So this was updated Saturday night, and they're pretty accurate. They are pretty accurate. Although I do think word of mouth will blow this one up further. So it says Twisters is hitting an $80 million opening per sources tonight after a $27 million Saturday, which was minus 16% off Friday previews of $32.2 million. That's a better Saturday than Oppenheimer a year ago, which did 26.2. Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, 26.4. And not that far away from Dune Part 2's 28.7. All in all, the opening for Twisters is 2.4 million shy of Oppenheimer's 3-day of 82.4 million, which is crazy. Now it does say this, Twisters couldn't go any sooner in the summer as it wasn't ready. The hope is that with August being a light month, Twisters will leg out in conjunction with Deadpool and Wolverine, even if the Glen Powell, Daisy Edgar Jones and Anthony Ramos pick loses some wind next weekend. Also noteworthy is that 16 years after the death of famed best-selling author and Twisters architect Michael Crichton, he has the #1 movie at the box office and the #1 bestseller in Eruption, which is cool. So that's fine. That's just domestic, remember. But let's see what Hollywood Reporter says, because they also quote some. They also are undershooting it at 74.6, or I think that's actually to date at the moment. So they're not doing the overall projections. But here we have, so Lee Isaac Chung's Twister is whipping up a huge wins at the box office. The forecast is predicting a far better than expected domestic opening of 74.6, so anywhere between $75 to $80 million it's looking like. If projections hold, it will become the top opening domestically for a natural disaster film, not adjusted for inflation. The current crown holder is Roland Emmerich's The Day After Tomorrow, which bowed to $68.44 million in 2004. So the turnout for Twisters cements the rising star status of Hollywood's man of the moment, Glenn Powell, along with Daisy Edgar Jones and Anthony Ramos. So it's also notable win for Chung, the acclaimed filmmaker of indie hit Minari. The film's demos are impressive. It is playing evenly among females and males, as well as appealing to younger audiences and older. So, and they're saying it could lead to a new franchise. Please don't fucking start doing a new franchise off of Twisters. Don't do that. That's the most ridiculous thing. Don't do that. That's no. That is like, no. That's not the lesson to take from this. Well, we'll just make 10 Twisters films. No. More twisting. Fuck this. Hollywood's so dumb. Anyway, so Twisters arrived 28 years after Twister, the envelope-pushing feature that broke ground for marrying visual effects and practical effects. It starred blah, 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 blah. So it says here, the original film was a box office juggernaut, opening to $41 million, which was $82 million in today's dollars. So, you know, this is a like-for-like. It's doing pretty well. And ended its run with $494.5 million globally, which is just shy of $1 billion adjusted for inflation. So Chung shot Twisters in Oklahoma, the heart of Tornado Alley. And not surprisingly, the movie's doing its biggest business in areas impacted by the dangerous weather phenomenon, which is cool. That's great. Now, here's the interesting thing. So, it's heading into the weekend. The tracking services had Twisters starting off with $40 million to $50 million domestically, with some distributors believing it would go higher, but no one predicted $70 million plus. The film is opening overseas and cost a net $155 million to produce before marketing. Now, I've seen reported budgets anywhere from $150 to $200 million, so not overly sure. So there you go. I mean, it is opening again. It is opening overseas as well. But this is quite a big opener. That's quite good. Like, that is not bad at all. So here's some figures. Again, they've not even updated this. But at the time, so this would have been... So it had some release dates in like 11th and 12th of July and things like that. So it had already racked up $11 million on the international market. And then this 32 million here you see is what they were quoting for Friday previews. So you can actually add, well, I mean, this would be crossing $100 million already opening weekend, which is not bad. That's not doing too bad at all. Again, we won't have the all-time figures yet, just because of how it's been released. But you can add significantly more than the $11 million on its sort of domestic opening weekend now, which is going to be that sort of, what is it, like $80 odd million it's projected. So, yeah, this is not bad. It's not great. This is still a pretty good opening, though, for this film. This kind of film is supposed to have legs. So, we'll see how it goes. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Again, it's just nice that a movie not marketed as some preachy BS is doing well. So you should probably get out and support it just from that perspective. And it sounds like good dumb fun. Anyway, cheers guys. Leave your thoughts down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.